Hello everyone, and welcome to my YNR 24 spoilers. It's Lily, not Victor, who has the key to stopping Kane's goal. According to spoilers on The Young and the Restless, Kane Ashby thinks he has all the cards. He intends to let Billy Abbott design the setting first. Kane then wishes to utilize that outcome to entice Victor Newman to take you down. Victor is aware of Kane's schemes, or at least thinks the information his numerous henchmen have obtained is valuable. However, the current king of Genoa City, Wisconsin, and the leader of Newman Enterprises acknowledges that this revived Kane poses a real threat. Despite not supporting Victor, Lily Winters should help him achieve his objectives. Kane himself stated that if she consents to a reconciliation, he will drop his plans to dominate the globe. The new Kane Ashby is not like the old one. Longtime admirers pondered the return date of Daniel Goddard's original portrayal. When rumors circulated earlier this year that Aristotle Dumas was Kane, their expectations for the comeback of that popular actor were sated. However, TPTB at YNR determined that a different approach was required. A new actor was deemed required because the Kane character was changed. Flynn's early returns are praised by reasonable reviewers, a term that is admittedly subjective. Days of Our Lives' late Chad, a daytime veteran, has the skills appropriate for Kane's current state. He is appealing and credible because he strikes the ideal balance between vulnerability and bluster. Victor Newman wants the threat to be eliminated quickly. Kane's artificial intelligence technology is strong if the reports turn out to be accurate. The name AI is, of course, rather misleading. The observed intelligence was produced by actual people. Those creators, not the non-human digital progeny, will always be the source of any sentience that emerges in the future. Kane's capacity to attack any business, destroy it, and leave no trace of that heinous crime is the threat Victor perceives. Although the term fiction may seem appropriate, those on the opposite side of the screen are aware from recent experiences that computer-based tools may accomplish things that were previously thought to be impossible. Thus, this plot is up to date and easy to follow. Bravo to the writing team for creating a contemporary plot that draws inspiration from the current world. He is still loved by Lily Winters. The best defense anyone in GC has against Kane's plans and ways of carrying out his all-encompassing takeover is the subject heading. Both Lily and Kane were left longing after their breakup more than 6 years ago. They were remarried in addition to being married. Additionally, they will always be a family because of their bond with the twins. The viewer will observe whether Kane's obvious feelings will compel him to decide between Lily and giving up on the scheme his late father devised. However, it's possible that Colin Atkinson expected Kane to ride the wave until he made amends with Lily and brought his family back together, and that Arabesque and the AI plan were only tools to achieve this goal. One of the best places to find anything related to The Young and the Restless is this website. For YNR news and spoilers, return often. Billy's Big Dilemma, Jack warns Nikki, and Kane's Jill condition. Spoilers for Wednesday, September 17th, 2025 are available for The Young and the Restless. Kane Ashby is likely to ask Billy Abbott to reconcile with Jill Abbott, according to fans. In the meantime, Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, receives a warning from Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman. Let's discuss the upcoming developments in the CBS soap drama as you continue reading. The special request of Kane Ashby. Kane will not give Billy much more time to decide, so let's start with him. The tycoon hopes Billy accepts the arrangement, even though he is aware of Sally Spectra's, Courtney Hope, feelings. For the long-term plan to succeed, Kane needs Billy's approval. Regretfully, Billy appears to be making all the wrong decisions. Kane will make a particular request when he meets with Billy. Billy will use that to make amends with his mother, Jill. Could that indicate that Jill will be returning soon? Read more. Discover the events of YNR's most recent episode. Billy Abbott's serious predicament. Billy is already in shock over Sally's decision to end their professional collaboration and possibly their romance. Billy is unsure of what to do till he finds out whether Sally is actually gone. Kane will exert some pressure on Billy because Sally stated that she was unaware at the time. Kane is quite particular about terms and conditions. Therefore, Billy may need to be polite to Jill if he really wants what was promised. Victor Newman's numerous tasks. According to Wednesday, September 17th spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, will employ multitasking to defeat his opponents. It's likely that the man has multiple flames going. Let's wait and watch what he does next. Victoria Newman may eventually be called upon to complete a mission for her father. Victoria and Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron, might find themselves in a moral bind when Jack approaches her for assistance. Watch this. Young and the Restless. 2 weeks of spoilers, September 15th to 26th. Holden and Claire's risk and Jack's crazy call. Nikki Newman issued a warning. Jack, on the other hand, will warn Nikki. Kane's plotting, Victor's resolve, and Billy's 180 will all be explained by the Abbott patriarch. Given all that is happening at once, Nikki will be aware that there will be some commotion soon, and her family will be at the center of it. Read this. Next 3 weeks of The Young and the Restless spoilers. Noah in danger, Sharon and Nick in chaos, and Kane's good deed. Read this next. YNR comings and goings September 15th to 19th. Super couple's wedding plans, leading lady in the flesh. Nikki could press Victor for details later. But even with the people he trusts the most, he prefers to keep his cards hidden. Keep an eye out, since Nikki might have a terrible feeling, but Victor might be adamant about doing things his way nevertheless. On Wednesday, September 17th, 2025, which narrative are you most excited to see? Post your ideas in the space provided for comments below. To find out what happens next, keep watching the soap opera on CBS or Paramount+. Over Kane, Jack and Billy engage in a heated argument. This is your recap for The Young and the Restless September 11th, 2025 episode. The Young and the Restless events. On The Young and the Restless, Sally, Courtney Hope, appeared in her party attire to meet Nick, Joshua Morrow. Photo, CBS. Jack gave Diane, who was upset that she was unable to assist Kyle, who had gone upstairs, a hug at the Abbott estate. Billy then texted Jack to let him know the part was on hold. Jack was furious because the text did not give him the complete narrative. He made the decision to find out. Billy made the point that AI is a deadly weapon at society. Phyllis quickly clarified that Billy did not mean lethal in a spooky horror movie sense, but rather in a pecuniary sense. Billy inquired as to how it would operate. Kane indicated that after he received his response regarding Billy's pledge of loyalty, Billy would receive that information. Billy's proposition was portrayed negatively by Sally. Sally was advised she was in over her head by Phyllis. In contrast to Phyllis, Sally claimed that she and Billy were not desperate for victory. Sally wanted specifics. This is all a big scam, she said, turning to Billy. Billy stated that he thought Kane would reveal everything, but he still needed to know more. Billy might simply cancel providing his information, like he canceled the Abbott communications party, Sally joked. Sally went off to repair the damage. Billy trailed behind. Kane's confidence was misplaced, according to Phyllis. Billy can't run with the ball on this, she said. He'll make mistakes. Kane was playing things so privately, so Phyllis asked him why. She told Kane she had huge dreams. Kane was also informed by Phyllis that Sally would persuade Billy not to help Kane in any way. Phyllis inquired as to whether Kane was arranging Billy. Kane warned that if he tried it, Jill would hit him. Phyllis didn't mind if Billy was being used as a scapegoat by Kane. Kane informed her that he had nothing else to share. If Phyllis wanted to, he continued, she could tell him to go to hell. Phyllis assured Kane that she had no fear of him. He was just strange, she said. Kane stated that since they work as a team, he wanted Phyllis's hands to remain clean. He inquired as to whether she was aware of how uncommon it was to come across someone you could admire. Kane described her as bold and intelligent. "Are you certain that I'm strange?" Billy inquired. She did, according to Phyllis, who also pointed out that it wasn't even good comedy, and advised him to refrain from doing it until he understood how to do it well. He would take notice of her idea and ask her to sit down. Although he did trust her, Kane told Phyllis that Chancellor Industries wasn't her ultimate goal. Sharon asked Nick how he was doing at Crimson Lights. "She doesn't need to be drawn into any more family drama," Nick said, even though he would love to tell her everything. Sharon urged Nick to open up to her about everything. Sharon was confided in by Nick. He informed her about Kane and his ambition to advance the situation. According to Nick, Kane possesses software that can breach a business's system and seize financial control. "It's too late by the time you realize it," Nick remarked. "That isn't possible, is it?" Sharon inquired. Victor believed it was feasible, Nick reassured her. Victor would stop Kane with blackmail, Nick replied. Of course, Sharon thought. Nick revealed that Colin obtained the funds to launch Arabesque through deception. Nick believed Victor would target Jabot with the program. Nick questioned why Kane was acting so avaricious. Since Phyllis was already being lured in, Nick suggested that Sharon avoid Kane. Sharon noted that Phyllis is astute and didn't require his assistance. Nick was worried that Phyllis could have to serve time in prison. Nick was commended by Sharon for becoming Phyllis's friend. Nick claimed that he had to stop Phyllis if she was pursuing Kane through a minefield. Sharon pondered whether Cassidy would be the first target of Kane. Nick declared that he would not allow anyone to take over his mother's business, Chancellor Industries. If Kane pursues Chancellor, Nick warned, even Phyllis won't be safe from him. Nick has a lot on his mind, Sharon observed. The conversation turned to their children. While meeting with a developer for a new club in Los Angeles, Sharon said that Noah might be returning to the United States. Nick was impressed. According to Sharon, Noah seemed content but wary. Nick inquired as to whether Noah would be returning to Genoa City. Sharon stated that she didn't want to ask him specific questions. Nick made the decision to take them to Los Angeles. Go visit him. Sharon concurred. Nick informed Sharon that the Abbott Communications launch party had been postponed and that if those who were anticipating food didn't receive any, there might be a huge line at the Burger Barn. Nick promised to visit Society to find out what was happening. Sharon volunteered to accompany him. Sally was furious that Kane informed the media that the party was off when she and Billy were at home. She had the feeling that she would be the one to fall. Perhaps Kane's proposal wasn't crazy, Billy said. Billy's purchase of Kane's pitch shocked Sally. Billy stated that additional information is required. They'll never know the truth, Sally exclaimed. Sally noted that Kane is dangerous and would continue to manipulate them. Billy questioned whether this was all true. He might be able to defeat Victor. Kane urged Billy to fight Victor, and Sally brought up the fact that Victor was blackmailing Kane. Sally noted that what Victor might do would be a major violation of the law. Phyllis claimed that the AI cleaned up after itself, according to Billy. Sally made fun of paying attention to anything Phyllis said. Billy claimed that all of this would enable him to regain control of Chancellor Industries. Sally said that Kane was taking advantage of her and Billy. At that moment, Jack came in. Billy, what the devil is happening? Jack was curious to know. He was incensed that he had not been informed that the launch had been cancelled. It was postponed, Billy remarked. Jack was curious as to why. They have a stronger launch strategy, Billy added. They appeared to be idiots, according to Jack. Billy and Sally were dressed for the party, so he instantly realized that they might not have cancelled it. Jack claimed that Billy was delaying him once more. Jack, why would I lie to you? Billy let out a bark. Sally interrupted Billy as he was still lying to Jack, stating that both she and Billy were equally shocked by the cancellation of the launch. Kane called off the party, she disclosed. Jack was curious as to how and why. Billy stated that they simply required time to determine their next course of action. Sally threatened to leave him both emotionally and professionally if he didn't make a decision by tomorrow AM. Sally got out. Jack, was advised by Billy that he needed time. Jack stated that they needed to reconsider their course of action if Billy was unable to inform him of what had transpired. Jack was chastised by Billy, who challenged him to withdraw the funds. Jack stated that Abbott Communications would need to rename itself and that he wanted all of the funding returned. Billy mentioned that it was also his name. The fact that it was their father's name infuriated Jack. Jack questioned Billy's motivation for starting Abbott Communications. Billy was suspected of using Chancellor Industries as his most recent fix. He gave him what he wanted, so Billy told Jack that he was angry. "I'm after my money," Jack declared. He advised him to give the business a ring at Ashby Communications. Jack informed his brother that he was on his own. Sally went back to society to speak with Phyllis and Billy. Phyllis attempted to persuade Sally that she and Kane were more familiar with Billy than she was. Billy wouldn't listen to her, she said, and Sally would come to the conclusion that she wasn't the one guiding her. Billy would have to do what he had to do, according to Phyllis, or Sally would have to leave. She stated Sally might start living her life more quickly the sooner she understood it. Sally promised that Billy would not be involved in Kane's scheme. Billy needed a victory, Kane informed Sally. Was it really her intention to deny him that? Yes, Sally responded, if it meant preventing Billy from going to jail. Sally then arrived to Crimson Lights. She informed Nick that Kane was responsible for the cancellation of the party. How could they stop him? She questioned Nick. Sally warned Nick that Billy was on the verge of losing his mind. Nick concluded by asking Sally how she could prevent Billy from being Billy. Before they left, Sharon asked Sally if she could get her something. Sally claimed that this was her problem to resolve. Nick said that it was their problem. When Jack got home, he informed Diane that Kane had called off the party. Billy believes that Kane will help him obtain everything, he said. According to Jack, Billy advised him to withdraw his funding if he so desired. Diane didn't want to be correct about Billy's action because Jack invested in his brother, whom he loved, rather than a business. Billy is flying without a net on his own. Jack thought, let's see how he likes that. Later, Jack demanded that Kane leave before he ruined their entire family. Diane concurred. When Nick and Sharon got to society, they saw Kane and Phyllis enjoying a drink at the bar. Sharon proposed that they quickly head back to the Burger Barn. Kane assured Phyllis that they would not be stopped by anyone or anything. Billy, meanwhile, had a flashback in which Victor promised to reimburse him for his actions with Chancellor Industries, and he remembered a private time with Sally. Returning to the present, Sally was not present when Billy called out to her. At Chancellor Park, Sally sat by herself on a bench. Billy then recalled that he had discussed with Phyllis Kane's desire to assist them in repurchasing Chancellor Industries. Then he recalled Jack telling him that his triumphs over Victor were not a good way to gauge his life. Jack went on to say that Billy was completely lacking in common sense. Returning to the present, Billy swore he would find Victor. On weekdays, watch brand new episodes of The Young and the Restless on Paramount Plus and CBS.